Welcome back. It's time for your money, and many households are feeling that financial strain right now, but these roadblocks can be managed. And with Colin Evans with Evans Financial Group is here to tell us how we can manage this right now.
We're trying to throw just a little bit of help. We've seen so much over the last couple of years, really the financial strain, because everything has gotten so expensive and we are all feeling this in our pocketbook. So we've kind of put together some things that are really some tips that'll hopefully help give a little bit of insight and maybe some pointers and go, hey, maybe some things we can change and make things a little bit easier at home. One of the first things we have is spending more than you earn. I get this is a tough one to kind of stay within those lanes, but however, living paycheck to paycheck can also be highly stressful and really risky, and it throws out there that that you might have to have the chance of using a credit card. And when something out of the norm comes up, a flat tire or a medical bill, something like that, that causes that, this can throw an entire wrench into something. So one of the easiest things we tell people to do is let's start with looking at subscriptions. Where are you using that gym membership? Is all those subscriptions on television, are you using those? Are you door dashing a little bit much? I use it too. But it's pricey. It is, and it comes with that price. We don't realize a couple times too, even the apps that we download on our phone sometimes either have a monthly or an annual fee that can actually go up and cost us just a little bit. Right. No financial cushion. This is something you guys have heard us preach about this quite a bit on here, and we highly suggest putting something into that savings account. If it's $10 a week, $20 a week, anything. So when something occurs, because it's really not a matter of if, it's really a matter of when something is going to occur. Right. Another big one that we really see is carrying credit card balances, and these are tough because these interest rates are through the roof, 27, 28, 29%. And the hard part is, somebody can end up paying for something and end up paying for it 2 or 3 times. And that's a really scary thing. And the average, I read an article earlier today, the average consumer debt, according to Motley Fool, is between $7,000 and $9,000 per household just on credit cards alone. So that's really that's a scary area that you really want people to be aware of. Student loans are one of the big ones that kind of get carried over, and just because of that debt, and I really think student loans are somewhat predatory on how that was done for people. But one of the easiest things you can do is look at refinancing that. If you can visit with a banker, and maybe they can pull that interest rate down. Or when you're in those low interest rate times, possibly potentially while you're still in school, maybe the time that we can accelerate payments onto some of those student loans and get that stuff out of the way. And then one of the last ones we see, and I see this one every single week, is I wished I started sooner, not saving enough for retirement. Just really because of we use a joke in the finance world that the 8th wonder of the world is the magic of compound interest, and the biggest thing that people going into retirement have was time, and that time of starting earlier gives them the biggest benefit and the biggest bang for that. So while the challenges really can't define us who we are, they just throw hurdles in our way in life, and we just want to give a few tips that can hopefully help bring a light and hopefully give some people some insight and some things they can maybe do and release a little burden on their own.
Absolutely, yes. And so if somebody was wanting to maybe get in touch with you, maybe starting an emergency fund, how would they get in touch with you to set that up?
Absolutely. You can find us at evansfinancial.com or kick an email over to us, info@evansfinancial.com.
All right, thanks, Colin. Now we'll send it over to Joe.